Rome to be destroyed by earthquake and volcanic eruption, a prophetic vision. The fall of Rome, long anticipated and discussed in prophetic texts, is a topic that resonates through both religious traditions and historical interpretations. Among the earliest and most notable prophecies concerning the city's destruction is that of the Sibylline Oracles, an ancient collection of prophecies attributed to the Sibyls, the priestesses of Apollo in Greco-Roman tradition. These prophecies often depict the end of the world or the fall of great powers, and one of the most vivid descriptions pertains to the future destruction of Rome. According to this vision, Rome will meet its end through natural cataclysms, particularly an earthquake and volcanic eruption, as part of a broader apocalyptic event that will also see the downfall of its corrupt system. The Sibylline Oracles, a vision of destruction. In Book 2 of the Sibylline Oracles, a powerful vision of Rome's destruction is depicted. The prophecy foretells a time of tremendous upheaval, during which the earth itself will shake, bringing about ruin to the once mighty empire. The oracle describes a series of terrifying events. But when on earth there are raging earthquakes and thunderbolts, thunders and lightnings, and mildew of the land and frenzy of jackals and wolves, and slaughters and destructions of men and bellowing oxen, four-footed cattle and laboring mules and goats and sheep, then much farmland will be left barren through neglect, and fruits will fail. Selling of free men into slavery will be practiced among very many people, and robbing of temples. Then indeed the 10th generation of men will also appear after these things, when the earth-shaking lightning giver will break the glory of idols and shake the people of seven-hilled Rome. The Sibylline Oracles, Book 2. The seven-hilled Rome is a clear reference to the city of Rome, famously built on 7 hills, symbolizing its vast empire and political power. The phrase earth-shaking lightning giver alludes to natural disasters, such as volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, that will break Rome's power and destroy its idols and its mighty political system. This destruction, caused by divine wrath, is meant to signal the end of an age marked by corruption, greed, and moral decay. Further in the prophecy, the text paints a grim picture of the chaos that will unfold. Great wealth will perish, burned in a great fire by the flame of Hephaestus. Then there will be bloody precipitation from heaven, but the entire world of innumerable men will kill each other in madness. In the tumult, God will impose famines and pestilence and thunderbolts on men who adjudicate without justice. The Sibylline Oracles, Book 2. Hephaestus, the Greek god of fire, symbolizes the volcanic forces that will consume Rome, along with its wealth. The bloody precipitation from heaven could refer to volcanic ash or other fiery rain, further emphasizing the role of natural catastrophes in the destruction of the city. The vision also predicts widespread chaos where humanity turns on itself, and God imposes famine, pestilence, and divine wrath as punishment for injustice. Protestant interpretations: Rome and volcanic destruction. Throughout Christian history, various scholars and theologians have interpreted the prophecies of Rome's destruction in line with their own theological views. In Protestant tradition, particularly in the 18th century, the destruction of Rome was frequently linked to the wrath of God, expressed through volcanic activity. For example, in East Apthorp's Discourses on Prophecy, 1786, he discusses the final fall of Rome. Rome, the seat of Antichrist, will be consumed with fire at the coming of Christ, or when the period of her apostasy is expired, in 1260 years from the rise of Antichrist. Present Rome, when by an eruption of fire the mountainous soil, being undermined, will fall into an abyss and be covered with the sea. East Apthorp, Discourses on Prophecy, 1786. This interpretation aligns with the earlier Sibylline vision, focusing on the destruction of Rome through volcanic fire. Apthorp's prophecy is based on the timeline of 1260 years, a period traditionally associated with the reign of the Antichrist, which some interpreted as beginning with the crowning of Charlemagne as Holy Roman Emperor in 800 AD. According to Apthorp and others of his time, this period would culminate in the violent overthrow of Rome and the papacy. Isaac Newton and the year 2060. Isaac Newton, the renowned scientist and theologian, also speculated on the future destruction of Rome in his interpretation of biblical prophecy. Newton focused on the 12 or 60 years mentioned in the book of Daniel and Revelation, interpreting them as years of prophetic significance. He predicted that the Antichrist's dominion would last until approximately the year 2060. Antichrist will retain some part of his dominion over the nations till about the year 2060. And when the 1260 years are expired, Rome itself, with all its magnificence, will be absorbed in a lake of fire, sink into the sea, and rise no more at all forever. Isaac Newton, Prophecies of the Bible. For Newton, the culmination of this period would be marked by a final apocalyptic event, in which Rome, as the center of anti-Christian power, would be consumed by fire and sunk into the sea, perhaps through volcanic activity or some other natural catastrophe. Revelation 18 and the end of Rome. The destruction of Rome is also foreshadowed in the book of Revelation, which provides a vivid description of the end times. Revelation 18 speaks of the fall of Babylon the Great, which many Christian interpreters have identified with Rome. The passage reads, "Therefore in one day her plagues will overtake her, death, mourning, and famine. She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is the Lord God who judges her. When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxury see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her." Revelation 18, 8-9. This passage aligns with the prophetic visions of Rome's destruction by fire and volcanic eruption. The metaphorical fire may be interpreted as a literal volcanic eruption or other forms of divine judgment that will wipe out the great city. Conclusion. The prophetic visions from the Sibylline Oracles, combined with interpretations from Protestant scholars like East Apthorp and Isaac Newton, all point toward the ultimate destruction of Rome by volcanic eruption and earthquakes, a fate brought on by divine wrath. These prophecies, steeped in both ancient and Christian apocalyptic thought, offer a vision of Rome's fall that is both natural and spiritual, a fitting end for the city that once symbolized power, corruption, and apostasy. Whether interpreted as a literal event or a symbol of spiritual purification, the destruction of Rome remains a powerful image of the triumph of divine justice over human hubris.